Hey, for my southerners out there, please be careful with those frigid temperatures. Please cover yourself, do some layers, bundle up, okay? With me being up north, I'm still a southern girl, and my body still can't deal with it, okay? I'm still congested right now. But I made a promise. God told me to do this. So let's talk about it. Generational trauma. Now, there are other names for this. It's called intergenerational trauma. There is transgenerational trauma, and there's ancestral trauma. Now, they all basically mean the same. It just kind of depends on what aspect that you are talking about it from. But the definition is a transfer of the traumatic experience or events of one generation onto subsequent generations, meaning that this experience has been passed down, right? And these experiences that we're talking about is genocide, war, slavery, discrimination. Get the point? Things that are prolonged, things that there have been many different things that happen over time. And those things, that imprint is in our ancestors and is passed down. Now, how is it passed down? I'm glad you asked. Direct exposure. Of course, if you have direct exposure to a traumatic event, you're going to be traumatized. Okay? Parental modeling. Now, children don't do what we say, they do what we do. So the way that we model things, the way that we address things, it informs them of how to or how not to deal with things. Okay, they make a choice, obviously, of which way they're going to go on their own, but we're informing them of how we're going to do it, right? Also, the things that we say in our household. So if we're saying that person ain't nothing, that person ain't nothing, blah blah blah, that person's going to be raised to assume that that person ain't nothing, that person's beneath me. Get where I'm going with that? All right. Epigenetics. Now, that is where there's an imprinting that happens on genes that are passed down. Now, it doesn't mean that this is a genetic situation, but when you have a trauma, there's an imprint, and that imprint can be passed down for generations. Okay, so it's like almost like a hypervigilance, if you will, within your children and your children's children, that kind of thing, of like kind of having an understanding of said trauma. There's a cultural transmission, and that is we can use George Floyd, children that came up during that time. They are seeing their parents fighting for justice for this young man, and having to see someone die on TV and that kind of thing. That was traumatic. And also to see how people who are black are, are affected, right? Within their communities and that kind of thing. There were conversations that had to be had with children. And they experienced that through their parents, through the community, and also firsthand, because a lot of them saw it on TV. Okay. Now, this can cause, of course, mistrust. It can cause anxiety, depression, suicide ideation. And remember, if you're having suicide ideation, dial 911, that is your friend, or 988, get the texting. They're there to help you. It can cause homicidal ideation, meaning you want to go out there and take somebody out. I'm just saying, that can definitely happen because the anger of said trauma, the emotions of said trauma can cause you to feel this way, right? So instead of going inward and say, I want to do it to myself, you want to do it to somebody else. Got it? Okay. It causes relationship issues. Now, a lot of times within the Black community specifically, there's always this talk about how our relationships don't last and that kind of thing. That's actually not very true. When there's commitment, more than likely they last. However, we have to go down and look during slavery, right? In slavery, people were trying to stay together. But what was happening was slave owners said, okay, I want the woman over here. I'm going to breed her. You know what that means. And then the man put him over in the field somewhere, sell him over there. They need somebody like him. And they were separating the family even then. So I'm not trying to say that's an excuse. I'm just trying to say that's an imprint that is still playing out to this day. Okay? And women had to stand strong and they had to take care of the truth. All that. All of this stuff, this is not new. This is from generations and generations and generations of trauma. Okay? Substance use. Now, people are like, oh, well, you wanted to ruin your life. No, no, no. A lot of people who have experienced trauma, they're trying to find either an escape or an outlet or some kind of relief, right? And a lot of times they go to a substance. Most of the time it's like marijuana, in which marijuana can calm a lot of people down, especially those who have like bipolar disorder, that kind of thing. It can be very soothing. However, they are demonized for said things. But this is a traumatic response, okay? Also, health issues, chronic health issues. And I'm going to say this in the camera. Chronic health issues are not, even though our, I would say that the things that we eat, iodine, is often told to us when we go to the doctor that that's the problem. And I'm not trying to say we can't eat better. But a lot of times it is the things that you are experiencing. It is the things that you have fought. It's the things that you have to live in every day that's causing you to have high blood pressure, high blood sugar, diabetes, stroke, heart disease. I'm just saying, it's not what you're eating, it's the stress you're under. A lot of the obesity in our communities are not from what you're eating. It is from the stress that you're taking, okay? From the trauma that you're carrying, all right? That's the reason why you're unhealthy. And you're just trying to keep going. You're trying to provide for your family. You're trying to do what you need to do. And I need you to do something for me. If a doctor says that to you and don't know you, I'm going to need you to make sure you trust this person. Do you trust your doctor? If you do not trust your doctor, I'm going to ask you to get a second and third opinion. Yes, doctors have paid the price to get the information they need to be able to serve the community, right? But they're not the expert of you. You are the expert of you. So you have to be proactive about your own health. Otherwise, they'll be taking stuff out of you and all that didn't even need to go. Because they heard you say you have a back problem, you know, you're hurting right there, and what they think it is versus what it is could be two different things, okay? So remember, you are the expert of your body. And if any provider tries to make it seem like you're not, find another provider. You need someone that's going to be co-present in your health. You want to be co with them, not them telling you this and no. You want somebody who's going to listen to you, who's going to hear you out and hear your perspective of what you're feeling. Okay. Now, this happens a lot in hospitals, right? Where our Black women are having babies and a lot of them are not surviving this, right? And they're saying they're in pain. They need this, they need that. And a lot of providers are ignoring it and looking at that mother as if that mother somehow has a drug issue because she's in pain and she needs some more medication. And there's an assumption that we can somehow carry this extra pain. And maybe we can because we've had to. But that doesn't mean you should. Get somebody who's going to be a partner in your health. All right, I'm going to get off that because that'd be frustrating me. Family issues, disassociation. That's when you put your feelings aside to try to deal with what's going on. And a lot of us are taught that don't cry, stand up strong. You have to, you got to be strong. You can't show weakness. Tears are not weakness. Tears are a way that God has given us to release toxins. Those toxins are those feelings, that negativity that's overloading in our lives, that sadness, that pain. He's given us tears to remove said toxins, okay? So Don't be believing that that's a weakness. In fact, make sure you're in a safe space where you feel safe to express your feelings, because here's the deal. If you do not express your feelings, they're going to get bottled down in there. And before you know it, you're going to have panic attacks. Before you know it, you're going to have aneurysms. I'm just saying, okay? Your feelings, your emotions need your attention just like everything else. All right, let me get off that. Okay, you have impaired life skills because your life skills are related to what you're experiencing in your community, right? You have emotional numbness, and that's when you're like, yep, nope, can't deal with no emotions right now. It's, oh, somebody got shot out there. It's just another Tuesday, okay? You have issues with trust, obviously, and you have unhealthy coping. And that unhealthy coping could be where you just feel like everybody's the enemy. Okay, and you're like, I don't trust nobody, not even my own people. Okay, or it could be, well, no, let me take this shot real quick because I got to deal with all these demons out here. I'm just saying, that's unhealthy coping. It's coping, but it's unhealthy. Okay, now I'm gonna tell you how you can heal said trauma. Okay, because again, whatever you're experiencing now, along with whatever was passed down to you, is what you're passing down. So we're going to talk about how you can kind of work through these things so it won't imprint as much. Okay. Now, first, go to the Bible. And it's Proverbs 26 chapter 6 verse. And it says, train up a child in the way he should go. Even when he is old, he will not depart from it. So all of these ways that we talked about that you pass down trauma, the exposure, the modeling, the culture, if you will, the imprinting, all of those things is training a child. Think about that. You're training the child. You are training the child before you even have the child. Okay? You are mixing him and you together to make a baby, and y'all's experiences are going into that child at conception. I'm just saying. And then whatever that child sees in the community, whatever that child sees in the household, they are also experiencing how to respond to said things from you or from the community. So that's how we train. Children don't normally do what we say they do what we do. Or not, depending on what they think. Because they might get up and say that's not the right way to do. I'm going to do something different. But, they have a prerogative to do that, right? Okay. Now, how we can heal these spaces. First of all, you got to identify it. And in our community, a lot of us don't want to identify that we may have some kind of mental health concern. And I understand. Like I said, the medical field has not really been good to us. We have been the butt of a lot of lies, deceit. We have been killed with them trying to do experiments. We've been given diseases, all of that. So there's an understanding why we don't necessarily trust the medical field. Okay. However, find the right one for you. You have a voice. You are the expert of your life. So if you're with a therapist or any provider that don't work for you, be honest. Like, I don't think this relationship is going to work out. Go find someone who does. Okay. There's someone out there for you that can help you through. Okay. Just because that one didn't work don't mean nothing will work. Okay. Educate yourself. Just like I educate myself on these things before I get on here. Educate yourself. Find out about your symptoms. What's going on with me? Look it up. Okay. So that you can have some kind of intel, if you will, to share when you go and see your provider. All right. Practice self-care. Now, for me, it's something creative, like dancing, singing, drawing, coloring, doing puzzles, that kind of thing. That's what helps me. That's self-care for me. But it could be your nails. It could be your hair. It could be going to play basketball with the boys, that kind of thing. Find whatever it is for you. Okay. Be open to change. Just because you're comfortable in dysfunction does not mean that it's the right thing for you. Okay. I'm just saying. So be open to change. All right. Allow yourself to process your emotions. Remember, If you push those emotions down and act like you don't have them, they can come out as suicide ideation or homicide ideation. I'm just saying, they can cause you to have high blood pressure, stroke. I'm just saying, they can come out in your health. They're going to come out. So you might as well give it the attention that it needs and deserves, because it's going to come out. Okay? And set boundaries. If somebody's hurting you, say so. Do not accept pain. Okay? And I have to say, over my years, I have been a person, I know what the person go. I have rationalized every single thing that has ever happened to me in my lifetime. Well, I can understand why that person did that because of this and this. But the part that I didn't get to later on in life is I don't have to continue to allow them to do it. They don't have to stay in my life, right? I didn't have no clear boundaries. I was just like, I understand. I love them. I'm just going to let them do it. I understand this is hard for them right now. And, hurt people. And that's the truth. But that doesn't mean I'm supposed to stay there and continue to be hurt. That wasn't okay. But, I was thinking I was doing the right thing. I wouldn't. For me or them. Okay? That's where you got to have those strong boundaries. Okay? So don't be afraid to say no. Remember, when you say no to them, you're saying yes to yourself or something else. When you say yes to them, you're saying no to yourself. Who you need to give the no to? All right? Now, I'm going to sing this song. This is Anthony Hamilton, Everybody. Now, I'm still under weather. I don't know how this is going to come out, but this is a part of the take, okay? We have seen some things in our lives. We've had some long and solemn roads. That's how I know it's all right to cry. Go on and ease the heavy load. Pray hard, walk tall, do right. Find love, hold on for a life. Lord, I know that you are there. I feel a burning in my bones. Free us from the lion's den and take us home. Everybody needs love in their lives. Everybody needs a little sun to shine. Go and let love come inside your life. Shine down on me. All right, y'all. Remember, you're the expert. You need somebody that's going to be a partner in your health, going to be a partner in your life, okay? If they're not a partner, remember, if you're saying yes to them, you're saying no to something else. And more than likely, it's yourself. All right, y'all. Sorry for the long one, but I felt it was worth it. Take care.